I'm Anita Purewal. I am now a third-year PhD student in property law, and I did my master's in advanced legal studies. So in terms of university-based background for my family, it's only my dad that went to university and my mom didn't. And I think I have one other auntie, it's somewhere in the family, that went to university. So it was quite a big thing for my family as well to be one of the few people that actually went to do it. And I think that's kind of what pushed me to want to do it more. It was something new to everyone, and I kind of wanted to prove that, it's something that actually can be done. It's not something people should be scared of or shy away from. And I would try to encourage my brother to do the same thing, and my other cousins and stuff. So yeah, it was something that was new to everyone, but that I was encouraged and supported to do. So I think for me to do a PhD, it was quite vital to get a master's, only because if you want to get funding for your PhD research, your master's kind of qualifies you to get certain points on your application, which I wouldn't have got otherwise. And having had my master's funded as well, it was something that I think pushed my application forward for PhD funding. And in terms of funding, it was good because you get into the process of applying for funding and grants, and it's a good skill to have, because even if I was to now go on to lecturing, there'd be certain grants that I would still need to be applying for, and so it's a constant cycle and process. But for me, it definitely helped in that sense. And like I've mentioned with the skills and stuff that you would get from doing a master's, it's definitely something that would help if you wanted to go beyond a master's and do individual PhD research. So if you were halfway through your master's and you decided to do a PhD, the only difficulty that you would have is in terms of funding. Funding applications tend to close around January. So if you were applying, say, March or April, it will be a lot more difficult for you to get your foot in a research council funded PhD, for example. But it's not something that you should shy away from if funding's not really an option to you, and if you just think, I actually just want to study. There's applications for PhDs that are open all year round, and at my university in particular, you can start in September or January or midway through the year. So there's always constant cycles, so you shouldn't be put off thinking I'm halfway through, I'm gonna have to wait until October to reapply. It's something that you can constantly be working on and apply for. My advice to undergraduate students who are thinking of doing a master's is, if you've got that urge to do it, then do it. There's nothing worse than kind of being forced into doing a master's. Like any form of study, you won't find it interesting, you won't find it enjoyable, but if you have that kind of inkling to want to do it, then I would say do it. And I will also say not to be scared of how big of a difference it will be. Your undergraduate sets you up really well to do a master's study, and there's a lot of help out there. If it's funding that's keeping you back, or if you think it's going to be a completely different experience, universities are very helpful and supportive, and there's a lot out there that will help you. And I'm sure undergraduate tutors will be more than happy to give you advice on the process. Even if you're not thinking of staying at your undergraduate university and you're thinking of going elsewhere, they will inform you of the range of help that is out there.